I was with my grandmother and mother. We were shopping on Boxing Day, getting some good after Christmas deals in a city about 2 hours from the town I live in. I was 16 at the time. I'm 27 now. But those 11 years haven't dulled this memory at all. We were at a World Market store. It was bustling. I was with my mom and grandma in the rug section when my grandma said,
"Oh my, he is so handsome."
My mom and I glanced in the direction my grandma motioned, and there was this tall man with dark hair and light skin. Not necessarily pale, just light. He had a strong profile. His jaw was chiseled, and he had an angular but attractive nose. He didn't look at us. We just saw his profile. He was wearing a black suit with a winter coat over it. After oogling for a moment, my mom and grandma meandered to another aisle, and I decided to go look at toiletries. I was alone in the corner of the toiletry section, and I felt heard. Felt like I was hearing a voice. It was in my head, and I could tell that it wasn't happening outside of my body. Like, I was hearing an echo of what someone was saying. I looked to my left, and the tall man from before was standing at the end of the aisle, with his side to me. But he was glancing out of the corner of his eye. That's when I noticed how bright his eyes were. They were the brightest blue I'd ever seen. Like he was wearing contacts or something. Okay, weird, I thought, but whatever. I ignored him and kept browsing. That's when I heard the voice again. It was a growly man's voice. It felt like it was coming from him. I glanced back towards him, and his mouth wasn't moving. It was just twisted up in a crooked grin. He looked at me again. That's when I started understanding the words.
"You are a beautiful child,"
it said. I say it because the physical guy wasn't actually speaking out loud. "Who are you?" I thought in response.
"You know who I am, child."
I found it odd that he was calling me child, and the timbre was slow and slow. Having enough, I turned my back to him and started walking away. I felt a rush behind me, like he was running towards me. I bolted. I didn't bother looking over my shoulder. Once I found my mom and grandma, I was out of breath, and tears were starting to form in the corners of my eyes. I told them that the guy from before had tried to grab me. I honestly don't know if he did try to grab me, but I felt like that was the logical next step after rushing up on me like I felt he had. My mom started to panic a little, and we went to check out. As we were weaving through the discounted holiday section, that tall man stopped us. He spoke to my grandma in a normal voice, saying,
"I just have to say that your jacket is gorgeous."
She grinned, but instinctively placed her arms over her torso.
"Thank you very much,"
she said. I looked up at him, feeling angry. I was about to pop off on him when I noticed his eyes. They were still blue, but a more muted natural blue. His smile seemed normal. Before it was more angular and sinister. My mom put her arm around me, and we started back toward the registers. Once we were in line, I heard the voice again.
"No matter where you go, my child, I will always be with you. Be warned, you can never escape."
I frantically turned to see the tall man standing at the entrance. He was holding the door for a mother and a daughter. Once they were through the doors, he turned his gaze on me. His eyes were that foul bright blue again. He winked, flashed that horrifying angular grin, and bowed slightly before turning on his heel and leave. I still have no idea what exactly happened that day. I don't know who or what that man was. I've tried Googling specific details, but I haven't really come up with anything. I was going through an extremely rough time in my life when it happened though, so maybe it had to do with that. Occasionally, I'll hear that low, slow, growly voice in my head while I'm out and about. I always scan everyone around me. I think I saw him once more in St. Augustine, Florida not long ago. I go there a lot. It was late at night. I was strolling down one of the side streets with some friends, and I heard the voice again. It said,
"Hello, child."
I turned to see a man walking ahead of us. He was tall with black hair. My friends turned onto St. George Street to get to another bar while I stood motionless. The man ducked into a building and I didn't see him again. And then there's another user replied with his own story. This kind of reminds me of when I met a person with unnaturally electric blue eyes. I was once in a terrible vehicle crash. I was knocked unconscious for I don't know how long. I woke up to find that I was trapped under a pile of twisted metal. I panicked and started screaming for help. This lady with these electric blue eyes, and I mean they looked like they were glowing, suddenly appeared at my side, kind of inside the vehicle with me. I assumed she was an EMT. She was wearing EMT type clothes, and I begged her to not let me die. She promised me I would be okay, and help was on the way. She stayed by my side until I heard the wail of the sirens. Then, she was gone. As I was getting extracted from the wreck, I kept asking where the blue-eyed lady was. The EMTs and firefighters all looked confused. No one with that description worked with them or was there at all. When they got me out and put me on a stretcher, they were amazed that I wasn't mangled. After hospital check, all I had was a mild concussion and a scratch on my knee. Nothing broken, no internal damage, no stitches needed. That lady had some otherworldly eyes and presence. I have no idea who she was, but I don't think she was wholly human. And then, another user asked if the woman he saw was familiar like a deceased loved one, and he replied with, I didn't recognize her, but as soon as she popped up over some wreckage, I just felt a tremendous amount of peace. I can't remember how long she was by my side, but this wreck occurred way up a mountain road, so I'm sure it took a while for me to be found and for the ambulance to arrive. I wish I could remember what we talked about, but I can't. I do remember she made me laugh. I was laughing when the EMTs arrived. I'm sure they thought I was in shock, and maybe I was. But the blue-eyed lady helped me so much. It was like a golden warm blanket was covering me the whole time she was there. And that's the end of the story. What a strange encounter both of you had. For the first story, we didn't even know what it was. Was it an angel or a demon? With the scary and sinister look on its face, it's more close to a demon. But one thing that is strange is that demons won't leave you alone. OP, I didn't know if you experienced any strange occurrences during the past 11 years after the event. So I'm puzzled. Yeah, figures. I'm not a pro in knowledge regarding angels and demons, so yeah. The second story though is much more clear-cut. She was protecting him in a car wreck on a mountain road. If the blue-eyed lady was something sinister, the user would be in grave danger back then. So, if the blue-eyed lady was some sort of a higher being, I'd say she was his guardian angel. So, yeah, what do you think, my viewers? Are they angels trying to help out? Or demons looking to cause chaos? It's up to you. This true story is posted by user B. Britt Mitchell. Sorry if I got the name wrong. Followed by the reply story by user I forgot my question. If you like this story, do go and show them your support by giving them the upvote. And don't forget to give me some support too by subscribing to my channel, as these content are free to play on YouTube. But recording this 10-minute story alone took 2 hours. Re-record if it didn't sound right, retake if I read it wrong. The time adds up, and that doesn't even include video making. So with just a simple click on the subscribe button below will help me out a lot. It's free, so don't worry. So to everyone that is listening, stay safe, and we'll see you again next time. Have a great night.